players than sense. But I think he would fit in at all of them. I don't know if you'd be the line leader for Arsenal, Liverpool, or Chelsea. I think you'd tie in very well at Liverpool. I actually think you'd be quite the signing for them. I'm having you at Arsenal, provided we get an out-and-out hitman as well. I'm all for it. But as we all know, Brighton are hustlers, and the richer Brighton have got, the more they drag their heels, really and truly. You know, who's really got a decent... I don't know how... I think he had a release clause. I don't know how Liverpool got McAllister for 35 odd million, which they probably still made a profit on him, but you get the point. People, you lot are buying it, man. To the 69 of you who've hit the like button, 70 now, appreciate you. 200 of you odd in here. How we not got 100 likes, man? Come on. It's free. It helps the algorithm, man. And it helps us get closer to 70k mods. You lot have slacked off. Make sure you're reminding people. But continuing the theme, this was reported by Sam Dean of The Telegraph in relation to Pedro. Apparently, industry insiders expect a busy summer in the striker market, and the Brazilian forward is one of interest to three of the biggest clubs. Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea all showing an interest in the Brighton forward. Apparently, the three Premier League giants are among the admirers of Pedro, who has 30 goals in 70 games since obviously joining from Watford. This is why I think he could be part of the squad, but I don't know if he could be the number 9. The three clubs are all looking to strengthen their front line ahead of next season, with industry insiders expecting a busy summer window for forwards. Yeah, because if I just say some random names, some need a number 1, some need another option. All of these teams, you could argue, need a striker. Unpopular opinion: City. If you don't, Villa, Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, West Ham United. Everybody needs forwards, man. Apparently, Liverpool are expected to be active in the market, and Slot is set to be backed with one of the club's biggest ever transfer budgets. Simultaneously, they have been linked with Wirtz, and it seems like they're going to get a replacement in Trent Alexander-Arnold in Frimpong. Seems like Slot is going to get rid of Darwin Núñez. For Arsenal, though, apparently we're understood to be long-term admirers of Pedro, and we have explored the possibility of signing him in previous seasons. So what's changed now? Why do we think we have more of a chance now than in previous seasons? Did we think we didn't need him? Has there been a shift in the price tag? Are we more convinced? Is there willingness from Brighton to let him go? Does he want to go? I don't know. Arsenal are considering a number of attacking options at centre forward and left wing. Again, you know, you're going to see the names Viktor Gyokeres and Nico Williams. Chelsea have an admiration for Pedro. They're still linked with Benjamin Sesko, and they're actually linked with Liam Delap, where if you read reports, it seems like Man United have won the race to sign him, people. Whatever that means, Kluivert, you never know. Whoever listens to Transfer Talk this early needs medical help. Fair enough, man. Then you have to answer why you're here, mate. Blessings from Bromtown DG. The only proper outcome should be adding 5 players to our squad. Sell 5 and add 10. I don't care, but our squad is light. It's that simple. It's very light. And we knew this going into the season. Big up DG. Love the progression. I don't know for progression, but I appreciate it, my boy, nonetheless. Berto will get us Vlahovic or Sesko or Joao Pedro. Boy. Is it Arteta's press conference at the moment? Because I see a couple of you comment that. Please let me know. It can't be, can it? Surely it's tomorrow. Because we're playing at home on Sunday. I don't know. Now, the Independent has been speaking, people, and apparently, if this would close or not. Okay, there we go. Arsenal's search for a striker is centering on a discussion between RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko and Sporting's Viktor Gyokeres. Both would cost either 75 million or under due to various clauses and agreements which would more than fit within the club's budget. I was going to do a video on which striker would be better and actually just do a bit of an in-depth thing and consider all the variables, especially off the pitch. The Independent has previously reported how much of the work so far has been done on Sesko, but the arrival of Andrea Berta as sporting director has brought more talks on Gyokeres. Arsenal are expecting a busy window, with sales also required to increase the transfer budget. Hopefully it's a lot more than the 100 million, in it. I'd take the trophies as well. It can be done. Like, this ain't a damsel in distress thing. Seriously, if Mikel Arteta is coaching staff, even Berta, who I'm not extending this to, if anyone feels they can't achieve their goals at this football club, which is getting over the line and winning trophies, you might as well leave, because the owner's not going anywhere. I'm not saying that because I want that to be the case. They're not going anywhere. Like, for me, maybe I'm looking at this a bit too different, but the owners ain't going anywhere. The managers ain't going anywhere. Talk about getting owners out and getting the manager out. There might be a time when that might lead to something, but right now that's not it. What do we do to get to where we need to get to within that premise? I don't know, but that's the course of action for me anyways, people. But, you know, DG's a fence sitter. Maybe I'm a bit logical, mate. Maybe I am a politician. You know, I'm going to start rolling up here in suits and whatnot, man. You might as well play on it, innit? The Independent has previously reported, oh, sorry, already read that. The clauses in Sesko's Leipzig contract have seen prices go up way past an initial 58 million, potentially straight to 75 million. But the fact he is 21 and already performing in the Champions League, which Leipzig haven't qualified for, and Xavi Simons has come out and said he wants to leave, allegedly, according to Romano, means he has fitted with the club's strategy of signing talent with potential for growth. The Slovenian international meets the club's profile in terms of physicality and link-up play, but is not seen as the finished product just yet. He's not. And that's where I think Berta's kind of coming on a win now mode kind of tip, because I think if Berta's not here, and I'd never had a conversation with him, I think you do get Sesko, and the Gyokeres thing's a non-starter. I think Partey keeps it moving, provided you still could have went for Gyokeres or still could have retained Thomas Partey, regardless of Berta coming in, people. But I just think there's a more of elements of players that are kind of right now, because, you know, Trossard seems like he might sign a new deal. We're restarting those talks. I've just mentioned Thomas Partey. Gyokeres, it seems like you're the first choice target now. Of course, everybody's linked with everyone. There's a reality where he could be the first choice. We don't get him. You need to get Sesko or someone. I know we're linked with a bunch of strikers. I'd love Isaac. That's not happening. But whether it's Isaac, Gyokeres, Sesko, Watkins, this one, that one, Joe Blogs, make sure once the window is closed, we have a forward. And all the other areas. That's all I care about at this moment in time. So yeah, at the same time, Arteta is conscious of needing goals now. Gyokeres is closer to the finished article at 26 and would potentially mean up to 15 million cheaper than Sesko. Kai Havertz in midfield. Wait on it. Among some of the questions being discussed, however, is the Sweden international's ability to translate his goals in the Portuguese league to the Champions League. Which is true. There will be an exchange rate. I don't think you're getting what he's got, something dumb like 48 goals in 50 games. I don't think you're getting that in the Prem. But I also don't agree with this, oh, he's not the sort of striker in the low blocks and all of this. I hear that they're valid claims. But I've seen, fair enough, the sample size isn't that big, but I've seen Marino find goals here. I've seen Kai Havertz for 2 seasons chip in a lot more of goals than some of his teammates. I've seen us. I don't feel we create enough chances and enough quality of chances, but then you could caveat that with saying we do and we don't take them. Really, a couple of the tap-ins we miss, even against PSG, whether it's, you know, the first 20 minutes, we really think he ain't going to score goals, or are we overcomplicating this thing a bit? I don't know, but it is a risk. It is a risk. And in relation to the Champions League, you know, we battered Sporting, but he had 1-2 moments. He scored a hat-trick against City. Fair enough. You know, people know he was at Coventry. I don't think he pulled up any trees, but he has played in England before. And sometimes everything's a gamble. Like, Sesko's a risk. Gyokeres is a risk. Obviously, we're not getting Isaac, but let's just say, for argument's sake, Newcastle said 120 million, you could have him. Everything's a risk, regardless of the pluses and the negatives. But at least you tried. And also doing nothing is a risk, as we've seen. Arsenal simply retain interest in both Eintracht Frankfurt's Hugo Ekitike and Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins, but neither have yet got to the stage that Sesko or Gyokeres have in terms of preparation for the summer deal. So is it them two we're betting on? Worst comes to worst, we like the look of Watkins and Hugo Ekitike. Arteta would love Isaac, as would I. Those whose Newcastle side Arsenal face this Sunday, come on, man. They've had our number. They've pulled our pants down 3 times. Can we please just win the game? Newcastle win their next 2 games. I think they finished second and they won a trophy. And we know the rhetoric that is going to be said. And there's a belief that the Swede would be interested in the move. Any deal is nevertheless seen as impossible. Arteta remains an admirer of Wolves' Cunha too, despite Manchester United widely being seen as near certainties to sign the Wolves attacker for 60 million in the summer. Arsenal would likely only advance on Cunha if there was a reassessment of attacking options. Arteta wants an explosive forward on the left, but that is less of a priority than a forward, and the extent of any deal is dependent on outgoings. We keep being told that outgoings thing, innit? Arsenal's interest in Athletics' Nico Williams has been widely reported. Another option seen as similar to Cunha, however, is Brighton's Joao Pedro. So that kind of, again, maybe I'm reading in too much into it, but this kind of makes you believe Joao Pedro's more seen as a wide option. Obviously, versatility is there, then being a number 9. We've been linked with a new striker at the very least. Apparently, PSG are interested in Borussia Dortmund's Guirassy, but they are not listed in the clubs that can exercise the player's 70 million euros exit clause. Those are Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal. With a contract until 2028, Dortmund have no intention of allowing Guirassy to leave this summer, but that could be an issue if they miss out on the Champions League. Decent forward, it's not for me though, man. Barcelona are willing to let go of 8 players. Anyone having any of these? Frankie de Jong, Asu Fati, Gavi, Pena, Ronald Araujo, Hector Ford, Fermin Lopez, Paul Victor. I can already see 3. I'm having Gavi tomorrow. Pena, if you want to come be a third choice keeper. Araujo, you can come for depth purposes. I'm a big fan of Fermin Lopez. Frankie de Jong, I got a love-hate relationship. I think you're a baller and I'm taking you on that, but I don't think you stand up to be counted in moments of adversity, really. Sporting have an agreement in place with Gyokeres to let him leave for 70 to 75 million euros this summer, and hope a bidding war could push that amount higher. However, that is unlikely with the player already grabbed emotionally and even financially by Arsenal. Arsenal have been told that, that equates to about 60 million. He would apparently be on 200 grand a week, which would make him one of our top earners. And when you consider Saliba, Saka, Magalhaes new deals, potentially Thomas Partey and Trossard, any newcomers that come into the club, you're still going to have Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz on the wage bill. Gabriel Jesus for at least another year, at least the man isn't fit. And then all the other players that on the face of it might only be earning 40, 50k a week, but it all kind of adds up. Berta is not going to sleep a wink this summer. I feel sorry for him, if I'm honest. Liverpool apparently have entered the race for Gyokeres and have already initiated the first contacts. Now, again, don't doubt it, but that's another club you can make a case of needing a striker. And as we know, it's transfer business. There's no way of proofreading. People, appreciative to you. Look, we've got 113 likes. Can we make a push? Big up to you. Look, you have hit the like button. There's 300 of you in here. Can we make a push to around 200, man? Keep it flowing, people. It don't cost a thing. Don't be a casual viewer. While Arsenal's interest in Gyokeres is genuine, any potential deal is expected to be complex and drawn out. Why is that the case? Why do you lot think? Apparently, Garcia divides opinion at Arsenal as Mikel Arteta loves him, but Berta would prefer to allocate the funds elsewhere. The manager chased Garcia last summer and in January, but a move never materialized. We will go back to that. We have seen reports today Arsenal only have 100 million to spend on new signings this summer. Potential sales could increase this budget. Classic rage bait, man. What's this? Jonathan David apparently has announced he will leave Lille, people. He's been linked with Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Barcelona, actually Napoli this last week, as well as Inter Milan and Juventus. Any takers? Probably be on expensive wages. Huijsen was linked with Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal. It seems like Real Madrid are about to get their man. His twerking has paid off because all he's been doing in the last few weeks is twerking for Real Madrid. And it'll be Xabi Alonso's first signing, isn't it? And it looks like they're going to play it back free. Apparently, they've activated his release clause and they're tying up loose ends in relation to that. Xavi Simons will leave Leipzig this summer. Romano has confirmed in a transfer bomb that will interest numerous Premier League clubs. We have previously been interested in him, people. Even at a point, it was made clear that his stay at Leipzig might not be a long one, with interest from the likes of Man United, Liverpool, and Arsenal cited. Xavi Simons' decision has been made. He's ready to leave Leipzig this summer. Plan confirmed, as reported in recent months. He's ready for a new chapter with top Premier League clubs and buying all attentive to his situation. Leipzig are aware of the player's plans. Fair enough. What is he said? Last summer, he said, I'm still a young player. I have many dreams and the club knows that. But right now, the most important thing for me is to play well in the upcoming games. Then we have international matches. And after that, sit down and see what happens. To be fair, it is a World Cup year. So some players might move or not move in the summer, depending on how they think they figure in their clubs, their country, plan. Gyokeres will get a salary of around 8.3 million. Apparently, he's the undisputed top target for the 9 position following the arrival of Berta. We keep hearing the same things in it, and it's getting a bit boring, really. But yeah, man, Dean Jones has said Arsenal are making backup plans for midfield in case they fail to reach an agreement with Partey, who apparently reports say he wants that his future decided this week. Well, next week. There's optimism that a new agreement can be reached, but due to a desire to be prepared for every eventuality, the club are making sure they have awareness of potential deals that can be struck. Ideally, they would like someone already within the Premier League, given Zubimendi is going to join them from abroad, and they do not want to have too many players who are not completely settled in the country by the start of the season, people. Arsenal's priority in the transfer market will be to sign off the deal for Zubimendi to join them and then sign a left-sided attacker and centre forward. There's potential for another centre mid to come in, as well as a centre defender or left back, depending on how the market opens up in June and July, people. We've gone over this Guirassy thing, so I won't read that again. Romano said, my information is that Real Madrid understood at the beginning of May that signing Saliba this summer was impossible for Arsenal. He's a crucial player and they are discussing a new contract. Arsenal have the ball in their court to close the agreement. Keep Saliba at the club and extend his contract. Real Madrid's position is clear. They will sign Højlund now, but Saliba remains the dream target. I mean, to have Højlund, Saliba, and they're still linked with Konate and Hato and any other decent player. How greedy, Real Madrid, man. Leave some for the rest of us. Arsenal and Liverpool are starting to believe they could sign Rodrigo this summer. Both clubs are getting excited at the prospect. It's understood Rodrigo has 90% made up his mind to leave Real Madrid. He did post on social media to stop making rumors about him. So we'll have to see. We are still being linked with the 20-year-old Fiorentina centre-back Pedro Gyokeres, who's apparently highly rated in Serie A. Apparently, he will not leave for anything less than 20 to 25 million. As well as Man United, Arsenal and Chelsea are in the mix. Did he not sign a new deal? Was in the process of signing a new deal. He's had a breakout season. How many times have we seen that? Young emerging talent plays well. Everyone in the Premier League's on to them. They sign a new deal and get a lot more money. And then the world keeps spinning. Again, apparently on the Partey front, he's willing to reject lucrative offers from Saudi Arabia with his preference to sign a new deal at Arsenal. The player hopes an agreement can be found and would ideally like the situation resolved before Arsenal's final game of the season, which is next week. Thank the Lord. We've spoken about the Højlund lad. We've gone over Lewis Skelly and Wanyeri. Well, not really Lewis Skelly's keeping the same number, but if you're just tuning in, Wanyeri will be number 22 next season. Raya, as you can see here, will go from being number 22 to wearing the number 1 shirt. Saka is set to become Arsenal's highest earner, with insiders suggesting he will smash clear of the 300 grand a week barrier when he signs his contract extension. William Saliba will also head towards the 300k a week mark, sources have told Give Me Sport. Fair enough, they deserve it. Arsenal would allegedly prioritize a move to sign Nico Williams, that is, over Rodrigo, even though the Brazilian is inching increasingly closer to summer exit from Real Madrid. Sevilla have practically decided Lokonga will not stay at Sevilla next season, so that's another thing that Berta's going to have to do, people. Apparently the new Arsenal home kit cost 85 million, definitely not 85 million, 85 pound, with an additional cost of £7.20 for a name, number and Premier League badge. The initial increase is £5, with the 2024-25 shirt costing 80 quid. I mean, how much does it cost to sign a striker? Apparently, Gyokeres and Victor Osimhen are both thought to be available for 60 million. Are you lot doing that or not, people? 21 years ago, the good old days. That's all we got. The good old days. And God knows that, if it wasn't for those cheating, meddling Sir Alex Ferguson kids, what our unbeaten run would have been. But yeah, man. Those were the days. Max Dolman is set to join Arsenal on their pre-season tour. He'll be eligible to make his debut next season. I think he turns 16 in December. Arsenal and Sporting have an agreement to sign Viktor Gyokeres, people, if you believe that. We've gone over Miguel Delaney speaking. See, I make sure I don't miss anything for you lot, people. I mean, Arteta would love Isaac, and there's a belief the player would be interested. But again, Newcastle got to want to make it happen, man. I reckon if you put me in a room with Ashanti or Kelly Rowland, they'll definitely be feeling my thing, but there's a barrier in the way. How do you get there? Real Madrid want to sign Saliba this summer, despite conflicting reports we just read. Liverpool are ready to go head-to-head with both City and Bayern to sign Wirtz. Throw our hat in the ring. Barcelona are keen to rival Arsenal in moving for Espanyol keeper Garcia. Rangers could be going City. This is the kind of midfield profile we need, man, if not the specific player. We've gone over that already. Arsenal will prioritize the signing of a new keeper in the summer transfer window. Apparently, we're planning multiple deals in the off-season. Imagine Ramsdale, man. You should have just wanted to be our number 2, man. It all could have been gone. Apparently, Kivio is on the radar of both Juventus and Inter Milan. A couple of days ago, we heard Arsenal want to give him a new deal, but he's double down on his want to leave, owing to actually getting more regular football. Sane doesn't appear any closer to signing a new contract at Bayern Munich, and apparently this has given Arsenal encouragement in our pursuit of signing the current, soon-to-be, if he doesn't change, Bayern Munich winger, people. And he's changed agents, allegedly. He's got to get paid in Saudi, but then again, it is a World Cup year. Once again, we've gone over the Jonathan David thing. We got anything else? What was that? Nico Williams has said goodbye to his teammates. Arsenal are well placed to land one of their favoured attackers in the summer transfer window. Get to the tosh of this, mate. Multiple reports have suggested the Gunners want to improve their front line over the summer in order to take the next step. Williams is on the radar. Williams is targeting the Premier League, where Arsenal and Chelsea have stepped up their interest. It's stated there is talk of an imminent departure in the summer, and Williams has already begun, to say goodbye to some teammates. There's also rumours he needs surgery in the summer, whatever that means. Ollie Watkins was left disappointed Aston Villa rejected Arsenal's offer. Okay, we'll come back for you in the summer. Arsenal are plotting a move to sign Anthony Gordon. We've heard we're interested in him before. Bro, English tax, key player, new deal just signed. Whether you believe he's worth it or not, bro, if you're Newcastle, you're saying 70, 80, 90, 100 million. There's probably, and also with that, I'm sure they spent 40 million on him from Everton. If Everton did their job, there's probably a little sell-on clause in this deal. This is a myth. I like Gordon. You would bang on the left-hand side, but this is a myth. Big, big myth. Accept huge offers. To be fair, did Liverpool not try and sign Gordon last summer? I don't know, man. Arsenal are looking to strengthen out wide. We've spoken about Martinelli, and if he leaves, they want to bring someone in who is better than him. And there are a few names on the radar. It's not hard to find better than Martinelli, is it? And you should be bringing in better than him anyways, as much as I love Nelly. One player they've shown interest in is Anthony Gordon. They've been looking at him, keeping an eye on his situation in case he becomes available. Newcastle have a bit of uncertainty about them because of their financial situation. But Newcastle got an exciting project. You'd be a fool to leave if I'm honest. If they can offer a lot of money for him, Newcastle might have to accept. But how much would they want, and how much of the budget does that eat up? You want to take Kivior, Reece Nelson, any of Trossard? Newcastle, you can deal with us, man. Then Arsenal have to decide whether the money it would take to bring him in is worth what he'll bring to the team and whether he's the right fit. But he's still young. There's a reason they're looking at him for a while. I mean, Gordon would be a treat, man. I think fans would love his attitude more than anything. Juventus have failed to agree a new contract with Vlahovic, who won't be presented with another offer. So Newcastle were linked with him yesterday on the topic of them. We know he's free to leave Juventus. You know, Juventus have let Thiago Motta go. They're being run amok, you know, like Hoytson's going Real Madrid. Bournemouth bought him for pennies a year ago. I'm sure that Juventus bought Lloyd Kenny from Newcastle for more than they sold Hoyson for. Vlahovic I think he's the top earner in Serie A. Again, talked about signing new deal or not signing new deal. So again, and also the striker market. Strikers appear to be all the range. His name is going to keep being thrown into stuff. He's been linked with us. He's been linked with us, Aston Villa and Newcastle in the last 24 hours. Graham Bailey understands Juventus have now decided to walk away from contract negotiations with Vlahovic, given he won't accept a drop in wages. So again, if you won't take a drop with Juventus, if you're moving to England and the Premier League and the riches and one of the biggest in the Premier League, bro, are you taking it? There are some circumstances you can say yes, but thinking about it logically, because this is a job at the end of the day. Would you take a wage cut? To which, cool, you don't want to take a wage cut. How much are you going to want? Because you probably, I don't know how that works out weekly, but if you're getting 12, you know, what is it? 12 mil a year, his salary or something a season or whatever it is, whatever, forget the numbers, wherever he's getting at Juventus, do you not want to get more at Arsenal or Villa or whatever? I don't know, man. I don't know. And his contract is running out, people. What is the asking price they've set? Although Vlahovic's reps have been in touch with several other Premier League sides too, Aston Villa, Newcastle United, and Tottenham Hotspur have been spoken to, as have Nottingham Forest. Be interesting to see go to Forest. Newcastle United, I mean, to have him and Isak be great, but you won't be the number one. However, it's likely any of those clubs would need a Champions League finish to entice the striker to England. That being said, Forest could emerge as a serious option for Vlahovic. To be fair, he has got his international body over there. He could be available for as little as 25 million. And apparently Galatasaray are paying attention to him, depending on what happens with Osman. 25 million. But then again, you caveat that with how much he's going to want with wages. It's not going to make sense. Arsenal turned attention to agreeing deal for Martinelli replacement. Who? Hasn't said anything. Martinelli, 1 minute, we're keen to let you go. Then we're going to give you a new deal. Apparently, he's got a contract at the Emirates until 2027, with Arsenal holding the option to extend it by 12 months, people. Arsenal prepared to open Saliba talks. You want to hear that, and that's all you want to hear. Player wants bargain move to Arsenal. Barcelona keen, but Gunners move is the plan. Arsenal been chasing Garcia and made a 20 million euros bid last summer. Okay. Barcelona are keen on him. They haven't made an offer. Arteta side are pushing. There are other Premier League clubs looking at the stopper, including Tottenham Hotspur. How many keepers Spurs are going to buy? Probably as much as us. Bournemouth, Manchester United, and Manchester City. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and Bayern Leverkusen have all set their sights on the Spaniard. Despite interest from these clubs, The report states Garcia is aiming for Arsenal. This is now giving them a clear edge to secure his services, either by activating his clause or reaching an agreement with Espanyol. The player has a 25 million euros release clause, which will rise to 30 million euros for the last 15 days of the transfer window. That looks like a bargain for a keeper who many in Spain feel is destined for the very top. So how long are you going to have Raya and Garcia without making a decision, people? Arsenal want to sign outstanding Premier League defender alongside Højlund. We're not getting Højlund. We're still linked with Brentford's Collins. I wouldn't mind you, the 24-year-old, as part of depth purposes, but I don't really think that's going to happen. We've been linked with Calomendo, people, according to Just Arsenal, which is a left field choice, the French international. Not really. He's at Rennes now, isn't it? Sure, he was at PSG initially. Didn't really pull up any trees. Had a good season or two a couple of years ago at Lens. Other than that, it's not really brought much to the table. So it's an interesting one. But at least it's another name. 17 goals and 3 assists in all comps this season. And we can't afford to get this transfer window wrong. I agree with that, man. What else? Apparently, PSG could still sign centre-back Joao Pedro from Club Brugge, even though he has reached a verbal agreement with Arsenal. If you know about that centre-half, please feel free to update me. On the topic of centre-halves, we did hear yesterday Arsenal are monitoring the progress and availability of 2 teenage defenders with both Rosario Central's Juan Jimenez and Real Madrid Castilla's Victor Valpenez. Scouting mission will be drawn on them, but why not, man? If they got potential, if Man United get in the race for Adam Wharton, we should, man. But 100 million, I don't think that's us. And I mean, you'd be great at Liverpool, City, Arsenal, or Manchester United. And I'm sure Crystal Palace fans think you're great there. I've done a video on Mr. Angelo Steeler before. Would love him, but we've already seen him to get Zubamendi, so that makes that a myth. Anyone want to go back for Lacazette? Apparently, he'll play his final match at Lyon this Saturday. Interesting. So yeah, we've gone over that. Chelsea are still being linked with Joao Pedro. We need to be getting involved, man. Don't let him go over there. Nothing here. We can close those tabs. See, I do close tabs. Arsenal are reportedly eyeing up a potential transfer move for Las Palmas defender Mikel Morel this summer. Morel can play centre-back or left-back. Fair enough, 23 years of age, could be cut price. We probably do need a defensive addition. So, yeah, and probably a couple of players leaving. Martin Zubamendi to Arsenal is understood to be all but done, if you believe such people. Barcelona have 3 goalkeepers on their list, which includes Arsenal target Garcia if Szczesny decides to leave. What's this? This has said Nico Williams is looking for a new house in London. I mean, you got money, but would you look for a house unless you're going somewhere? I don't know. What's Romano said on Højlund? Højlund is expected to be the third here we go of the summer for Real Madrid after the new coach, Xabi Alonso and Trent. Højlund was always given priority to Real Madrid, even if, including tonight, clubs like Chelsea and Arsenal also always called to be informed on the situation. Chelsea and Arsenal have been in regular contact in the last 24 hours to understand what happens, if they can still enter the race in case the deal collapses. Chelsea and Arsenal have been fighting on this one. Well, that's that. There's no more fighting to be done. The man's made his decision. I can't begrudge him for going Real Madrid. Make sure you got alternatives, though. What's this? Oh, Zubamendi hijack stuff again. There seems to be growing talk of Rodrigo leaving Real Madrid this summer, with Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal interested. Chelsea aware of Rodrigo opportunity, said Ben Jacobs. Rodrigo as well, which is like a new name I'm hearing. There's nothing advanced between Chelsea and Rodrigo, but what I can tell you is Real Madrid are willing to let Rodrigo go. He's been forced to play at Real on the right-hand side because of Mbappe and Vinicius, but his best position and where he likes to play is again on the left-hand side. We got a spot available, and Chelsea are aware of that market opportunity without really moving on at this point. The same can be said for Arsenal and also Liverpool as well. Is it too early in the market to be speaking of that? Xabi Alonso has a fetish for Martin Zubamendi. Well, and as nothing is signed with Arsenal, the Gunners could be about to feel the pulling power of Real Madrid. You never know, man. But honestly, it's boring with Zubamendi. Until we get it signed, nobody knows exactly what is going on, man. 164 likes, people. We're moving ever closer to 200. I reckon we could do it, man. So, yeah, smash the like button if you haven't. Pure Vibes, appreciate you. Lise Berta is trying to sort out Saliba cover. Anybody from San Sebastian. Bournemouth defender could be on his way to Real Madrid. It looks like such. Rise, Crystal Palace. City can't win anything in their worst season in years. I hear you. Big up Do Rag Diaries on the